I mix what I like, what I like, what I like, what I like. Moving on to the next category, which I see here is the Best Umar Johnson Bully Hater Cottage Industry Award. Woo! What
we need to hit the clock? Is the clock on? Is the clock on?
The clock is now on.
So let's just get this straight, right? At any top or end of the year in the Gregorian calendar, Umar Johnson is one of these people who is known to set stuff off. He is giving us phone calls without the phone ringing, and the phone call that he's on suddenly rings again. And we're like, Umar, I thought you was on the phone. How we hear that joint? He is giving us rants about who he's better than. He's giving us some famous Shakespearean phrases. Umar gives us some life at the end of the year, right? So now, we all know Umar's collecting funds to open up a building that's going to eventually become a school. Cool. People are donating. Cool. But there's a whole group of folks out there who have now turned and looked at Umar and said, wait, this guy's got something going on here. He's raising funds by making videos. And he's not going to open that school. So what if we start critiquing Umar? And there's one person who stands out in the crowd. We could look at, the anti-Svengali something person. They put out these amazing documentaries. But there is one person that Umar has named, in a list of 5 folks or so. Some people, he said, is like a school counselor that stole his work. There's somebody else out there who is doing whatever. But the main person who has made an industry out of this joint is Lennon Honor. And I've spent some time watching his videos, and I'm like, you disagreeing with some stuff about Umar that most folks can't. Go ahead, please.
I'm sorry, just to be clear, because I want to make sure you said his name is Lennon Honor.
Yes. Not that he's a socialist.
This is a dude who's made a name for himself hating on Umar Johnson.
He has made documentaries. Like, let me give an example, right? Umar pulls these stunts that you got to appreciate, right? So when the wind blows, Ancestors is talking, knocks down a cell phone, just some great comical moments, right? We're not making fun of the ancestors, just the antics, right? Whatever his situation is, that's his situation. He's just putting out a lot of videos. And because he's putting out so many videos, folks can take them, critique them, and make videos about him. So this dude literally made like a 5-part series about a 5-minute video that Umar created. Now it was kind of funny because Umar made this video about there was a protest and people were coming to protest in school. And so he made like a counter protest rally video. And it's comedy, but if it's a 5-minute protest, with I don't know how many people were there. But if it's a 5-minute video and you make it a 5-part documentary series for 3 hours each part, I'm like, you're going a little bit much, bro. So now that cottage industry is getting another cottage industry where folks be like, we're going to check your pockets and see how much you making off of these anti-Umar videos. And so it is the most wonderful thing to watch the cottage industries grow cottage industries. So the nominee is Lennon Honor and the other 5 people that are named. I don't think I watched enough Umar videos to know who those other people are. But, everybody got their haters out there, and some of Umar's have risen to the ranks of money getters. You know what I mean? So they make $300 a pop.
So, Dr. Hay, you're saying that Blank is Umar Johnson's favorite book, Dr. Jeffrey's Blank.
Wow.
Because Blank is also what Umar's produced, right? Blank, right? Okay. So, with those blanks in play, what you're saying is that as a result of these zeros, other zeros have come about that are attached to other numerals. Is that right, Dr. Hay? Is that what you're saying?
It's in a very twisted world. Umar once won the Emperor Has No Clothes Award on this very hate award show himself. And now we at the point of looking at it like, wait a minute. These folks are on the internet bullying Umar Johnson. And I did not think we would get to this point. I don't know what's crazier.
And we had been, you know, I don't know if it's picking up, but we had, you know, he's even been immortalized in audio drop as part of the Hate Awards. I would slightly disagree, Dr. Burrows. I wouldn't say that he's produced blank in total. Some might, you know, he has produced work. He's written, he's published, he's got a lot of videos and lectures, and he's produced at least the skeleton of a school, right? I think what I've appreciated about Dr. Hate's criticism over these last few years is that while it is sometimes easy to be critical of the performance, at least, of Dr. Johnson, that this newly spawned category of hating on Dr. Johnson is equally hateable on and equally, should be equally put on the table for critique, which I think is fantastic. I think that's, and over the last couple of years, I have to admit, it has changed some of my views on Dr. Johnson himself in the way he has been responded to by particularly those who are claiming to be doing or wanting to be doing in terms of African people, something good or positive in and above what he's doing. So anyway,
now
we do have one nominee in this category, and just under 4 minutes left on this topic. Just FYI.
Thank you. We also know some folks came to crush Umar, and it didn't go quite the way they thought it was going to go.
Right.
And I'm looking at all of those folks who are rising after Umar crushed their leader as like the Martinettes. So when he went on Roland Martin, people was like, oh, Roland about to get him. Roland about to get him. And he went on Roland Martin, and he was like, yeah, this is my degree. This is what I studied. This is where I'm certified to do my work. And he was clear. It was hilarious. And I was like, he not like Pickens. Don't just be thinking you're going to roll up face to face in a battle with him and think that it's going to go well. And we'll see how it went for some of the other folks who were nominated, how it went when they rolled up and said, I'm ready to take on Umar.
Right. That's real. That's real. And in fact, we have something at imixwhatilike.org with Dr. Kemish Shockley, on just that video, on that discussion with Roland and Dr. Johnson, where, like you said, people thought they were going to show up and drop something on him. But when you're a reactionary and a conservative, it's hard to be critical of somebody doing that kind of work, even if there's room for them to be critiqued. So
this is very educational. So Umar Johnson's accomplishment is what?
He is the most sought after something who goes around the world and speaks on behalf of the plight of Black people. But his claim to fame really is school psychology. He's trying to make sure that Black children don't end up in special education courses by testing means that actually are built and designed to make sure these same Black children are put into special education. So he's created parent advocacy groups and things like that, right? So, he'd go around and be like, I am the number one person doing this, and I am the number one requested scholar doing this. And I'd be like, I got no arguments with that. It's not a problem for me. But when I saw people start being like, I'm going to call up the school that invited him and get them to disinvite him, wow, and that would actually work, I was like, oh, now you messing with this man's bread. Like, when people start messing with your bread, that's when their counter protests are serious, right? And that's when these folks are organized in a different way. They weren't saying ideologically they disagree with the idea that Black children should be in special education. What's the problem with that? Then there's another group of folks who are like, why is Umar Johnson accepting applications for a wife? That joint is just hilarious. Like, he want to see resumes before he gets married. Now, there's all kind of personal critiques and whatnot, but then that opens up the door for everybody who throws that stone to now show their hand. And so Lennon Honor has showed his hand, and the cottage industry is exploding on Lennon Honor right now. Shout out to all of y'all for making videos and getting money off this stuff. I enjoy good comedy.
Yeah. So as we're about to have to wrap up on this topic, we got the second nominee is listed here as a school counselor who Umar alleged stole his work. You want to quickly elaborate on that?
No, not really. I just want to see them get into the battle, and I think that joint could happen. Like, I think if the school folks get together and be like, who came out with this work first, we could get to the bottom of that one. But plagiarism is a problem, people.
Plagiarism is a problem.
Jared, boy, I think you've experienced plagiarism, which
plagiarism
is, academic plagiarism. Yeah.
Yeah, plagiarism, yes. Plagiarism is a major, major problem. Anyway.
You mean when you have an idea for a center of race in media and you submit it, and then 2 years later somebody says, I have an idea for a center of race in media. You mean that? Is that what we're talking about?
Well, no, because mine was the Race and Media Research Center, and theirs was the Institute for Journalism and Community Research, or something like that.
I saw that movie.
Yeah. Anyway,
I saw that movie. They was like, "You got the golden arcs, and we got the golden arches."
And I think like, part 2 is on its way, right?
There it is.
There it is.
Well, it looks like we don't really have any debate about who this award is.
No, so we could go ahead and give this year's Best Umar Johnson Bully Hater College Award, Cottage Industry Award to the good Lennon Honor, and congratulations to him on that award, and we wish him, of course, well. All right, good people. All right, good people. Just real quick, a text from you all think Dr. Hate is anonymous. Well, Super Spousey is super anonymous, but had to text in and remind that there was a brother that did a TED Talk. Some say he even favors me a little bit. That sounded a lot like something I had done too. So I appreciate that late reminder of classic hateable plagiarism. Anyway, all it takes is shout out to so and so rocking on a similar idea, and it's all good. But all right, good people. I mix what I like.